Hey, Ben from Fashion Magazine here, and today we're taking a look at the iPhone XR. So the overall design is everything that you'd expect from Apple. It's incredibly lightweight, really slim, the all-screen makes it look incredibly sleek, and they've put a lot of thought into the colors, which is one of the big features of the XR. And the colors read really nicely, they're very vibrant, they kind of extend all the way around on the edges as well, and they put a lot of thought into the design of the colors, right down to the packaging and the wallpapers as well. I was a bit worried coming from an iPhone 8 Plus that I would miss the home button, but I actually don't miss it as much as I thought I would. The Face ID works really fast, and it works in the dark because of IR technology. The tap to wake up is a really nice feature. The only thing is you have to bring it up to your face to unlock it, but you could use a passcode if you wanted to as well. And once you get used to the gestures of swiping up from the bottom, it's really simple and it's really intuitive. So one of the new features that's included with the iPhone XR is the ability to make your own avatar called a memoji. And you can use this the same way that you used to use Emojis. So if you're texting your friends, you can create a little voice clip with your memoji. Or if you're FaceTiming, you can use your memoji as well. One of the cool functions about the memoji is that you can track it over top of a video that you're recording, and it does a pretty good job of tracking your head movements as well as your facial expressions. So one thing Apple's put a lot of attention into is trying to make the memojis as inclusive as possible. So you don't actually pick a gender at the start of creating your memoji, and there's a lot of culturally inclusive customization options within the memoji menus. One of my favorite features of iOS 12 is screen time. So you can now track how much time you're spending on different apps on your phone. It's a great way to cut down on screen time if that's what you're trying to do, or if you're trying to simply reallocate how you're spending your time on your phone, it's a great way to do that as well. Last year, one of the features I was most excited about with the iPhone X was the Augmented Reality feature, but it didn't really feel like there were that many apps available for it. This time around, I've noticed there's a lot more apps available on the store. So one of the games I tried was The Sims, and using the augmented reality features in the game, you can place your sim house on a table and move around your sim house as you're furnishing it and playing around with your sim. So it was just a really cool way to interact with a classic game. Another app I tried was this Lego AR app, and you can place these different Lego kits within your scene and kind of play around with them. One was like this dragon that I was chasing a pigeon around with, but it's really cool just how interactive it is. And when you look away from your phone, sometimes you're actually surprised that you're not seeing what you were seeing on your phone. It's that convincing. And finally, one of the biggest things for me is the camera capabilities on the phone. The images are really sharp, the colors are very vibrant, the dynamic range is great, so you can have very detailed shadows and not blow out your skies. So even though they don't have the telephoto lens on this phone, they still have portrait mode on the wide angle lens, which is actually kind of interesting because it gives you a different perspective on the portrait mode. One of the cool features that they added is depth control, so you can now change the aperture of the photo after you take it. So if you want to blur out the background more, you can do that. Or if you want to keep it in deep focus, you can do that as well. One of the things you might run into is sometimes the phone has difficulty distinguishing the background from the subject. So it's just always a good idea to maybe take a couple of photos so that you have a few options. Along with the still quality, there's also really great video quality added to this phone. So you can do 4K 60 frame per second recording, and you can do 240 frame per second slow motion at 1080p. The only thing is you'll want to make sure to go into your settings beforehand and make sure that you're on the correct setting, because it does default to 1080p and you have to manually set it to 4K. One of the features that makes the videos more immersive as well is the stereo audio recording. And this is really cool because you can play it back on the stereo speakers on the phone, and it really just gives it a more immersive experience. So that's been my brief review of the iPhone XR. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.